What up, YouTube? So today is going to be part 3 of the Honda Civic ekk2 crate engine swap, and today I'm going to be going over everything you pretty much need to get your swap running and dropped in, especially with a K24. K24 is a little different, and also we'll be showing you the wiring on 0506 engine harness converted to an 02 to 04 conversion harness. So the 02 to 04 conversion harness obviously is only for 02 to 04, but with a couple repins and everything, you can actually get the 05 to 06 harness to work with the 02 to 04 conversion harness. So first thing I'm going to start off with is, what is ekk2? So it's pretty much 92 through 95 EG subframe or 94 to 2001 DC subframe. So that's what you're seeing right here. And pretty much when you are going with this subframe, you're going to be swapping out your rack and pinion, your gooseneck, your lower control arms, and this bracket's not needed, but pretty much, yeah, the whole subframe. And you're also going to want the bolts. So the reason why this is called ekk2 is because this is the second edition after the ekk1s. The ekk1s are using your stock subframe from your actual 96 to 2000, so none of this would be needed. The reason why they did create this version is because the actual placement of the engine was pushed a little bit too forward, and people were having a lot of axle issues. So people would snap axles for no reason, not because of power or anything, just because the actual way the engine is placed in. So luckily someone figured out that the EG-DC subframe fits right on. The bolts are a little bit different, so you want to use the EG DC subframe bolts as well when you get your subframe. And then they also have EG or ekk 3, which is still this subframe, but the actual transmission is different. That would be using the TSX or the Accord transmission, which the housing is a lot different and the shifter mechanism is different as well. They also have the Hall sensor in the front, the speed sensor, so that's a little different as well as far as that, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, so that's pretty much as far as that. Now this car is going to be going into an automatic chassis, so we have the pedals right here to do that. It's really simple to do a stick conversion when you're doing K-Series, so went ahead and went with the S2000 clutch master cylinder kit. I just like the way it looks more tucked. You're gonna need your braided line, and then obviously your slave cylinder. So that's all brand new. This is just the intake for the swap that we're gonna be using, which is a little K-tune. And then this is the radiator bracket kit. You can really use whatever radiator you want. You can use your stock one from your single cam or whatever if you're just temporarily trying to get it running. It runs even when it's hot in the summer, so it doesn't really overheat, but some people want better radiator setups, so you can do that as well. We also have our Yonaka Stage 2 axles. They're pretty much base RSX axles. The base ones come with 32 millimeters. The Type S's are 36 millimeters. So if you just wanted to run the Type S ones that came with your swap, if you got the whole car, you have to get a hub adapter kit, and you can swap those over, and you can still use those axles. These are for people who just want to swap it all over in. I went with Yonakas. You can go with like O'Reilly's or whatever if you're just trying to get your car running, or Insane Axles sell some really good ones too. They're just a little bit more expensive. This is kind of a budget swap, so trying to stick to pretty much the basics that we need. As far as that, next you obviously need fuel system. This is just a fuel regulator system that I have. I have the inline filter too, but I'll be doing that on the next video, pretty much putting everything onto the crate before we ship it all out. So you need a fuel system. Pretty much I usually feed from this side and then feed to the fuel rail, and then this just dumps back into the tank. Since RSXs And K-Series star cars, they only have the fuel regulator inside of the fuel tank. So, and then when you're doing a swap car, they have the fuel regulator on top of the fuel rail. So this pretty much regulates it, gets all that figured out for you. Next, you need a pulley kit. There's all kinds of different types of pulley kits. Like I said, I'll be installing this on the next video, showing you everything, but that's pretty much going to go right here on top with the new belt, and we're going to delete the AC. And you can get the AC delete and everything completely. That one's a little bit more. I just like the top one. It's just more simplified and everything. And if you ever wanted to run power steering and AC, it's still going to be available. Next, we have I believe this is our shifter bracket. So pretty much this is just kind of bolt up to the car, and then the shifter is just going to go on top of it. That's pretty much simple. You can just run your lines, your shifter cables right under your heater core, and that's pretty much it for that. The next thing is our conversion harness, which we'll go over right now in a little bit. These are just our ekk2 mounts, and make sure when you are looking for motor mounts that it does say for the EG subframe. If you do get the ekk1s and you're trying to do the EG subframe, they won't work. So just be advised on that. Next thing, we did get the transmission back, so it's all redone and freshened up, and we'll be installing that back on the motor probably next video, like I said. Also, when you're doing a K24, this bracket is actually different. This is a CRV bracket. The ones that they come with, it's actually right over here. This is what the stock bracket looks like. So this won't actually work with your ekk2 mounts or ek1 or ek3. This bracket doesn't work at all. So this is from a 2004 CRV. Other than that, this is an RBC manifold. You don't have to actually have it cut on the K24. The K24, this is cut actually for an RSX. So this is actually unnecessary. They should have actually kept it, but it's all good. When you are putting an RBC manifold, since they come drive-by throttle like the K24s, or at least most of them, you will need the adapter and then your RSX throttle body. So the main thing, this video is pretty much, like I said, to get the wiring harness. This is our new harness because the other one was cut, if you guys have been watching before. So this is a 05 to 06 engine harness. The easiest way to really tell is looking at the speed sensor. It's usually black instead of gray. And if you want to look at the actual plugs, what's different is let's see, on the 02 to 04, there's a white wire going to be right here. That's for your O2 sensor, so that's not going to be on here. And then I believe on the gray plug, this is your knock sensor is going to be on number 1. So usually on 02 to 04, I believe it's just a power there instead. But anyway, so we got our 05, 06 engine harness. We got our ECU. Now, with the ECU, you want to make sure that you don't mistake the outer sockets. They are exactly the same. One is for the E-plug and the other is for the engine harness. So let me go ahead and install that real fast. So, and make sure that the white and gray plug are right next to each other. When that's the simplest way to know that you got them plugged in right. So alright, so that's good right there, those two, and then these two aren't used, and this is going to be for our E-plug, and this is the plug that we're going to be using off the conversion harness and repainting. So that'll be this plug right here. It plugs right into here. So most of the stuff on here is already deleted since it's a K-swap conversion harness. This is just going to go to E10, which is right over here. It's a blue white wire. You just T-tap that. Don't cut it or anything. The things that are different, so from this harness, is that our fuel wire is from E1. It needs to go to E17. And then our tack wire right here, I believe is on 26, and that needs to go to right here, so 25. And then our speed wire output will come from right here. So 3 different wires that need to be repinned. And then we need to take, since our speed is not right there, our speed is actually, I believe, this wire right here, no, that's not the right one. It should be probably this green and white wire. I'll double check just to make sure. But yeah, it's usually number 3. I believe that's number 3, the green and white one. So we'll take that one, and then we're gonna put that into where this tack wire is supposed to go. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and depin these, and then switch those around, and then we'll come back and take this wire off, add a pin to the 26 where the RPM wire is, and that's pretty much gonna be it. So I'll try to make it as easy as possible, but like I said, I'm gonna take off this wire right here, the fuel wire, green and yellow, and then we're gonna take off this blue wire, which is the tack, and then we'll take our speed wire from right here, repin it into this, and that should be it for the wiring part of this video. Alright, so we're back now, and I pretty much got the 3 wires repinned. So as you can see, I took it out of E1, the fuel pressure, and I put it on E17, which is 2 over from the ELD. So I don't know if you can see that, but there it is right there, or 5 away from the second plug right here. So E17 is for the fuel, and then as you can see, I took the tack wire and put it to the slot over, and then I put the speed sensor where the tack wire was at. So you'll see that, I believe that should be 26 where the RPM wire used to be, and now it's at 25, and the speed sensor is at 26, which is from the C101. So it was the green white wire. And one way to tell is you can take the actual 05, 06 harness and connect it. Wait, other way. A little hard to do this one-handed. Alright, so as you can see, the 3rd wire right here from the 02 to 04, it doesn't actually have it coming out from the 05, 06, and it is the 3rd wire over. So that is one way just to make sure, to guarantee that's your speed sensor. So I took that wire and I connected it, as you can see, to right here, which comes out to right here. I just did a little connection, just extended it. And that's all you need to do in order to get your speed, your RPM, and your fuel pressure to work on your 05 to 06 harness. Other than that, this goes still to E10, and then you still have your fan and your temperature control, which all still goes like regular, like any K-swap, nothing different from 05 to 06. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on the comment section, or I also have Instagram, which is rarewooded_. You can hit me up there, or you can also hit me up on my email, honda.mike1988@gmail.com. Other than that, stay tuned for the next video. See you guys next time.